Hi, how are you? I'm Laura, and I'm here to talk to you about aware parenting. Today, the topic is loving limits. So, loving limits are when we present a limit for our child, like a boundary, a safe way to set a boundary in a loving way as well. So, loving limits are very important for children to understand what they can and cannot do. And sometimes children will act in a way where they seem like they have something troubling them. They might have some big emotions that they need to release. And if it's not a need that they need, if they're not really hungry or they're not unwell, then they might really need to release these emotions. So by setting a loving limit, we can help our children to know that there's a clear boundary, that we're there with them and that we love them, but we're not willing for them to do something that might be harmful to themselves or to others, or just something that we're not willing and able to do at the moment. Like if it's very late at night and your child wants to do something and we're too tired, and we can say, I'm sorry, love, it's time for bed. I'm not willing to get up now. We're not going to get up now. We're going to keep lying here. Sometimes loving limits can be very useful in helping our children to release big emotions. So they might get very upset by a statement like that, and they might have a big cry. And crying is very beneficial. If you've seen my other videos, then you'll know the first video, the welcome video, is very good to watch before watching these other videos. So crying is very beneficial in terms of helping our bodies come back to its natural state of homeostasis and balance to help us sleep better, us as adults and babies and children. So if your child gets upset by a loving limit, we can allow those emotions to come out, be there and support them and say, I hear you're upset and I'm here for you, but I'm not willing to get up now for you, love. It's time to lie down and go to sleep, or whatever the situation might be. Some common situations that I use loving limits for could be if I see my child getting really angry and upset and he starts to hit or take a toy or, use his emotions in a different way, in an aggressive way, then I'll hold him. I'll say, no, I'm not willing for you to hit, and I'm here with you and I love you, but no, you can't hit now. You can't throw this. That's dangerous. That might hurt someone, and I'm here with you and I love you. And sometimes there can be a beautiful stream of emotions coming out, and I can see that it's really healing, that opportunity for him to stop and have a limit, because our bodies will naturally try to release emotions, but they might do it in an aggressive way, or they might do it in a suppressive way, like wanting to eat or wanting to watch a screen. So if we can help them release those emotions in a healthy way, such as through crying, with support, being close to us, or through laughter, then that's much more beneficial. And that will help us build a strong, safe connection that will help us later on to have better ways to communicate our emotions, have a higher emotional intelligence. So in a suppressive way that we might be dealing with our emotions could be if we have a baby and we've developed a habit of feeding them every time they cry, and or then it grows up and the child feels emotional and they want food, or as adults too, maybe we feel emotional and we want chocolate or something, to quench that emotion. But we can also set a loving limit for our baby. We can say, oh, I'm sorry, love, I'm not willing to feed you. I know you're not hungry now. You've had a lot to eat. So I'm sorry, I'm not willing to feed you, but I'm here with you and I love you. And sometimes holding a baby like this or a child can really help them to understand, oh, this isn't a hunger, this is emotions. And that can be so wonderful for them to understand that difference of what hunger is. We can do it for ourselves as well. We can say, oh, I'm feeling emotional, but I'm reaching for this chocolate or this wine. Why is that? So we can stop ourselves and understand this is a control pattern that we've developed. This is something, a pattern that we've developed to kind of help us in a way to calm those emotions. But is it really getting the emotions out? Do we feel more healed by doing this? So that's a little bit about loving limits. And a loving limit, again, it's not only about setting that boundary to keep safety or to help the emotions to come out. It can also be something really just what we as a parent are able to do. Like I remember when my daughter was very young and I had bought her new sheets and I was so excited. I put the new sheets on, and then just before bed, which is often the time when we're very sensitive and emotions freely come out, she said, "No, I don't want the new sheets." And she just, was so excited about it. But then before bed, it started something in her that was an opportunity actually for her to heal and to release emotions. And she just cried and cried. I still remember her. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. She's 6 now. She was only a toddler then. But she cried and cried and cried and cried. And she eventually fell asleep on the floor crying. And she was just so adamant about wanting the sheets. And I was also so strong about saying, no, I'm not willing to change the sheets now, because I could tell it wasn't about the sheets. It's like that, something that breaks, the straw that breaks the camel's back. She needed that limit so that she could feel that she could release her emotions. So it was a beautiful way to help her release her emotions. And in addition, for her to have a great way to sleep, and for me to also feel like I'm being democratic, I'm setting this limit rather than being too permissive and just saying, okay, I'll change the sheets, because I was exhausted myself as well, or rather than being authoritarian and punishing her. I was using this approach of aware parenting, which is democratic, conscious, and really aware of what our children need to be able to be calmer, happier, and sleep better. So I hope this video helps you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day. See you in the next video.